It's
coffee time.
I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people.
Yeah, isn't it amazing they picked me for this? That's kind of scary, actually.
Right out.
You want to help me? No? All right, don't help me then.
Wally don't need help. He's
Wally knows
full
everything.
of wisdom.
Okay, all right. Well, this is the Wally Wisdom and the Wally Wisdom Show. I am Wally Wisdom. Hello to everyone in Coffee Time USA, and welcome to the Wally Wisdom Show. I am Wally Wisdom, and I am known as the wisest person in all of Coffee Time. Boy, that doesn't say much for Coffee Time. All right, moving on. So where do I continue here? And I say that humbly.
You look humble.
Yeah, I am, kind of. Today, I will be reaching into my mailbag and answering questions from my viewers, and I will give them advice on my many years of wisdom.
I just feel the aura coming off you right now.
Yeah,
Wally.
well, you just wait. It's going to get better. Question number one.
Okay.
Number one. Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Phil, the airline pilot, writes, Dear Wally, I always heard ambition is a poor excuse for not having enough sense to be lazy. Is that true? I think maybe it is. But we'll get serious now. Good question. That would be false, though.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it is. Proverbs 10:4-5 tells us this. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich. He who gathers in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who brings shame. So Phil, if you know anybody that is lazy, just tell them to be glad they don't live in the olden times. Olden times. I remember when I used to have to get up and change the TV channel by hand.
Well, you had it rough growing up.
I did. Question number two. Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right. My next question comes from Marge the librarian.
She is a one sharp cookie, Marge.
She is. I don't know why she'd ask me anything, but okay. She writes this, Dear Mr. Wisdom, I find your advice more in-depth than most books in the Coffee Time USA library.
What a compliment coming
That'd be
from
like 2
Marge.
shelves of books. So my question is, I once heard that as you make your bed each day, so shall you mess it up. Is that true?
I've always wondered that.
Yeah, well, it's an excellent question, Marge, as usual. Because unless you decide to sleep on the floor, chances are you will mess your bed up when you sleep in it.
Wow. Have you ever thought of that, Paul?
It's kind of a,
Valid.
yeah. All right, so Psalms 149:5 tells us this. Let the godly exult in glory. Let them sing for the joy on their beds. You ever done that? I know my sister does. She sings for joy all night long.
Amen.
Since I don't sleep in bed, but a hammock that hangs in my living room, my hammock is a joyful place. When I'm praising the Lord, it's a swinging good time. Yeah. So question number 3. This one comes from our very own Pa Marshall.
Oh, I haven't heard from Paul in a while.
Haven't you? Okay, well, he writes me this. Dear Mr. Wally Wisdom, is the old saying true, strike while the bug is close? Have you ever heard that saying? No? All right, I don't think I did either. But we'll talk about it. Great question, Pa Marshall. In most cases, if you want to strike a bug, do it when it's close, unless it's on the face of a police officer.
I would want to do that.
I almost got arrested last week by Sheriff Larry when I killed a bee on his face with my hat. Sheriff Larry just does not understand my method of supporting the men in blue. let no one say that Wally Wisdom does not back the badge.
I know you do. You protect them from the flies.
I do. Leviticus 11:20 says this, tells us this, all winged insects that go on all fours are detestable to you. Believe you me, folks, if Sheriff Larry would have got stung by that big bumblebee, he would have looked detestable at the policeman's ball next week.
He's the only policeman that'd be there.
Well, it's a small ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, question number 4. Melanie coffee can. Oh,
Yeah,
a
I
new
love Melanie.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Melanie coffee can writes, I always heard that it is darkest before daylight savings time. Is that true, Mr. Wisdom? Very good question, Melanie.
Yeah.
Yes, it is true. It certainly is always the darkest before daylight savings time unless you get hit in the head with a baseball bat.
Ooh.
And when you're playing catcher at the Coffee Time USA softball team, I got hit so hard by the batter that I could not see to throw the ball to first base. However, I was very fortunate that the umpire did not throw me out of the game after I broke his foot.
You must
I
have quite a throw.
missed first.
Just by
Just saying.
Just by a foot.
Just saying. Yeah, just saying. All right, John 8:12 is where Jesus said, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I'm so glad that no spiritual darkness can overtake the light of our Creator, Jesus Christ. All right, the next question, question number 5, says this. And this one comes from my niece, Shannon, the wise woman.
I haven't heard from her in a while. I hear she's
You
really
too?
smart. I hear she is a smart gal.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Shannon writes, Dear Uncle Wally, I have always admired I've always admired your wisdom. You have taught me so much growing up, like not to cross busy highways with an ice cream cone in my hand.
Wow.
My question is it true, Uncle Wally, that the pen is mightier than the pig? That you, my dear, wonderful niece, Shannon, oh, thank you. I missed that part. Thank you, my dear, wonderful niece, Shannon, for that question. It is absolutely not true that the pen is mightier than the pig.
I never knew that.
Yep. I raised a pig last year, and he was always getting out of the pen.
I know it.
Thinking back on it, I did name my pig Ink. Maybe that is why Ink kept getting out of the pen.
That's why, he lived up to his name.
Everybody go, oh, a big, oh. Yeah, there you go. All right, Luke 15 through 16 tells us the story of the prodigal son. And it says, so he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed the pigs. And he was longing to be fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. Because of the prodigal son's sinful lifestyle, he was reduced to a life of eating with the hogs. Just a word to the wise, if you do attempt to eat any pig food, make sure you use lots of seasoning, because then it is at least tolerable.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, well, that is all we have. Everybody goes, yay! Yeah. That is all we have for the Wally Wisdom Show. Keep sending those cards and letters asking for my wisdom on all of life's issues. Remember, the wisest thing that you can do is ask Jesus Christ into your heart and life by believing in him and repenting sincerely of your sins. This is Wally Wisdom reminding you. James 1:5 tells us, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. Also, one last word to the wise. Remember, having a pig for a pet is not always such a good idea. They can be a real hog. So long, everyone.
Oh, wasn't that great? Give us the Wally Wisdom. I love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. I love the God's wonderful people. Love the thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. What a sight just to see all the happy faces, praising God in heavenly places. What a thrill that I feel when I get together with God's wonderful people. So long, I love you guys. If you ever want to see any of our adventures of Coffee Time USA, this fictional town that Brad wishes he could really visit, right?
Yeah.
You can go to our
It's on my hit list.
I make these into little sketches. They're on YouTube. I have like a whole 2 years worth, not quite a year's worth, on Spooner Church of the Nazarene. You can look at them on our YouTube page. There's one about Laura the lawyer, the first time with Sam the sheep farmer. And there's a whole bunch of them with the unleaded and keyboard Harriet.